Now then, here again. 20th February 2021. Saturday afternoon, nearly 2 o'clock here in Yorkshire, England. That light at the end of the tunnel's getting a bit bigger. Something to look forward to. Me and the wife had our jabs last week. Things are definitely looking up. Let's hope we can get back to normal sooner rather than later. Anyhow, we're here to discuss my 15th selection on my Rush review and list. And I've called this video Maniacs in Polyester Slacks because that selection is rollerboards. Now, it was released on the 3rd of September 1991, 48 minutes 4 seconds long, produced by Rupert Hand, his second co-production with a band. It's a gentle, melodic rock album for me, with a couple of experiments thrown in amongst its 10 tracks. A continuation of the same sound and feeling that was a production on the previous album Presto, which was also produced by Rupert Hand. However, for me, it's always been an album of strikingly different quality. It reaches unbelievable heights of brilliance in some parts, yet in others, the calibre of music, especially for Rush, is average, to say the least. We'll go into that later. Lyrically, Neil's dealing with chance, fate, individual dreams, recent political events, and there's even a love song thrown in for good measure. The title Neil found in a short story by Franz Lieber called Gonna Roll the Bones. There's nearly no excess baggage goes with the CD, but some of the lyrics do point the listener into some interesting further reading, and I'll mention some of those, the books involved, later in the piece. The album's beginner, Dreamland, like Red Sector A on Grace Under Pressure. This is another Rush track that I'm totally in awe of. I've lost count of the times I've seen them play it live, and I could never get tired of it. Its complexity, its harmonic guitar beginning, powerful keyboard presence driving the melody towards that traditional rock chorus. I just love the way Alex's solo builds with Geddy's fantastic bass line and Neil's peerless drumming, back to that emotive repeated chorus before the song reaches its climax with a final set of fallacious lyrics. I look closely at these, and I'd argue that they have the ability to arouse different intense feelings and interpretations among its listeners, which is quite obviously one of the strengths of the track. I was always curious by the heroine in the piece and a liquid crystal compass, and not just a normal compass. I think it's because her compass, or sense of adventure, comes with its own personal buffer, which, just like the liquid crystal, is going to absorb the highs and lows of their journey to redemption. Redemption being living her life as she sees fit and not as others do. Those words touch base with a common theme of Neil's subdivisions, free will, Middletown dreams. Our own psyche is explored, actions, our human spirit, which he's comfortable with. On the run, being continuously busy. On the fly, being doing it quickly while doing something else. And on the wing, being active, always in motion. Here Neil invites his congregation to explore Their other restless nature before it's too late, with a brilliant soul-stirring chorus. When we are young, wondering the face of the earth, wondering what our dreams might be worth, learning that we're only immortal for a limited time. So poignant. Basically, keep your dreams alive. One day when it's too late, you will look back with regret. Time is a gypsy caravan, steals away in the night, leaves you stranded in dreamland. Take your chance, go for it. Stunning opener. Means a lot to a great amount of people. My favourite Rush track of the 90s. But what if you do go for it and it doesn't work out? It's where we arrive at track number 2, Bravado. And here, you might need your crystal liquid compass to make sure it's working. This is another classic piece of music, the perfect ballad. I remember hearing Alfie Boe sing Quadrophenia, and how well it turned out. I could just imagine him singing this. I say Alfie Boe because I read a little article in the Sunday Mail about how Alfie Boe had attended the Who tribute night in November 2014 to raise money for Teenage Cancer Trust. I saw Alfie's comments in the paper, how he much enjoyed Geddy's performance of The Seeker. For him, it was a standout performance of the whole gig. The track itself is a simple, gentle piece with a great drum part, which raises via a wailing guitar solo to a crescendo finish. Lyrically, I'll just let Neil explain. You can't do a lot worse than that. To him, it just means go for it. He says they are failures of talent. They are no failures of talent, only failures of character. That quote appears in the Rollerbones tour book. We will pay the price, but will not count the cost, is a line from John Barth's Tardwater Tards. One of the highlights of the album for me. No wonder it was included in the live set for several years. Marvellous piece of music. The next track is a title track, Rollerbones, and it maintains the very high standard of the previous two. Notwithstanding the lyrics, there is some great feeling and groove in the track. Geddy's bass line dominates Alex's with a Angus Young type riff, wailing keyboards on top of a thundering drum beat. Then the guitar solo leads to a rap section. Then the music stampedes into a peal of thunder towards the end. The Rush in Rio live version is phenomenal. Lyrically, it stays on track with the rest of the themes of the album. Dreamland, keep your dreams alive. Bravado, go for it and suffer the consequences. Rollerbones, come on, let's do something about it. The song approaches this in 3 parts. Plotting, or forming our lives within the rigid structure of fortune. Fate is not predetermined or destined to happen, and not controlled by supernatural powers. And an invitation and an appeal for the listener to be the master of his own reality. The rap section over the years has become the main talking point of the whole album, and deserves some investigation itself. It's basically a song within a song. Earlier in the piece, Neil refers to fortune being within a rigid structure. A frame. This section conveys the message that even Rush can break that mould, can break that frame, and roll the bones and take a chance. It encourages to view the facts from all angles, deal with ideas rather than events, and don't continue to be in a state of preoccupation with your own peaceful affiliations. The rap section turns out to be a positive impulse, a call to arms, indeed an act of encouragement. These first three pieces of music are a fantastic beginning to the CD and set, in my opinion, an extremely high standard. They're as good as anything the band's ever done. However, track number 4, Face Up, is just average for me. And it's highlighted even more so, because it appears after the 3 masterpieces at the beginning of the album. Neil himself decided that the tune didn't live up to its potential. Its one redeeming facet is the bridge section. You can all get squeezed up inside. The rest is disappointing. A throwback piece of rock and roll with a feel and production that joins it in the 1950s. Lyrically, someone somewhere is going to have to come to terms with something they have been running away from. The track decides that it's better to face up and come to terms with it and to get some solution. A lot more interesting is the following instrumental, Where's My Thing? Part 4 of The Gangster of Boats, a subtitle that had become an in-joke with the band and crew. Another piece that works incredibly well, Laugh. Fantastic musicianship all round. Upbeat tempo, being described as another version of Telstar, with its snappy little recurring themes and appealing tune. Neil said of the composition that when Geddy and Alex come up with good musical parts, they would normally fit some of the lyrics in straight away. So he decided this time to outsmart them, and I won't give them any lyrics till they've made an instrumental. I do like it, and it's brilliant, Laugh. I think after La Villa and Wow Wow Z, I think it's my next favourite instrumental by the band. And it's one you can definitely eat a bit of popcorn to. The next track, The Big Whale, I can take it or leave it. I'll put it in the same bracket as Face Up. Music again, for me, the production don't work. It's lifeless. Too many rounded edges. Too many musical cliches. No great riff. Sounds like a poor man's Big Country. Not a track I come back to a lot, but lyrically it's quite interesting. This led me towards William Blake's work, Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. Indeed, Neil here is composing with thoughts of that youngster who would not conform in subdivisions, who is actually grown up now and looking back with some experience. Song begins with innocence in adolescence and concludes with the impressions and observations looking back from adulthood. At first he was only a kid, but by the end of the composition, progress through life. His progress through life has been directed in unexpected ways by the influence of love, life chances and experiences. As I said, not one I look back on a lot, but it has led me to enjoy some further reading. The next track, track 7, Heresy, and we have a change for the better. Not an immediate favourite of mine, but a slow burner, like Time and Motion off Test for Echo. Neil is obviously commentating on the fall of communism and the end of the Cold War. It made some people very happy, he states, but it also made him mad. The song is a lament on the revolution, over a revolution. People might have their lives back, but those who are responsible for the wasted years don't face any penalty. During these wasted years, capitalism has continued to function. Still, even with a threat to lives of the consequences of the Cold War, overshadowed by the threat of nuclear war. The aftermath of the Second World War affected everybody indirectly or directly. And what can we do about those wasted years on both sides of the Iron Curtain? Conclusion: put it behind us and get on with it. For me, it raises questions of accountability. Should our leaders in comments and politics be accountable for their actions? Musically, it's a solemn piece, bit of a dirge, military drum beat into a solid chorus and melody. There's an African drum influence and lingering keyboards, and Alex power window chords. A piece of serious reflection, a subject Neil felt so strongly about, could not be treated in any other way. Track number 8 is Ghost of a Chance, and I love this piece. For me, it's the same standard as the first 3 tracks of the album. I love the feel, the musicianship, the lyrics, style, melody, chorus. The mellow production of Rupert Hound works on this piece. And I'm surprised it wasn't included in the live set more. Well, I did see him play it at the Roller Bones tour in Sheffield, April 1992. Message of the song is about the chances of finding a partner through all the different stages and passages of our lives, but making it last eventually when we do. Once again, Neil states he doesn't believe in unknown forces, but that life's journey has a tendency to propel people together. And when it does, it's our duty to demonstrate decent judgment and be faithful. In others, these are the properties that make the relationship work and last. Rush even do a love song with a difference. Musically, it's a gentle commercial rock song. Surprised it was never a big hit single. Appealing melody, catchy chorus, which has a classic time signature change. Advances through different moods, ending with a great solo from Alex. It's peak point of the CD for me. However, there is a question mark over the main riff, of which I will mention later. But it still doesn't detract from the song for me. I love it. Track number 9, the penultimate piece, is Neurotica. The song has quite a promising start when Neil's Alex's hemisphere-like chords and Geddy's bass line. But after those great expectations, the track for me eventually falls into the same bracket as Face Up on the Big Wheel. Lyrically, it's quite interesting. Just wish it was packaged a bit different. In this instance, Neil is looking at the opposite type of relationship than the one with the one of the sentiment of the previous track. A relationship which is rather strained. He is someone can't deal with their situation in relation to the world or themselves. The chorus amplifies this friction, highlighted a host of personal disorders being seems to be utilised as excuses. The verse seems to suggest some effort in trying to knock them out of the stupor by giving them a reality check. Musically, for me, it's the worst chorus Geddy's ever come up with. In my opinion, it's tacky and throwaway. The musicianship remains a high standard. You won't expect anything else. There is some slight redemption in Alex's guitar work in the midsection. But for me, the track is totally blunted by that awful chorus. And it's repeated so many times. Talking about the chorus, the album ends with "You Bet Your Life." Can you imagine what was going through Geddy's brain when he was presented with this pile of lyrics? For me, that's a problem. Like parts of Vapor Trails, there's too much, way too much. Geddy's done a great job getting them in some sort of format to go into a chorus. However, as much as Neil enjoyed forming all these different aspects, it doesn't work. And what's more, I can't say how it ever could. I say he did include himself in the lyrics as a get me mouth round this, as a bebop or one drop or hip hop, lit pop metalist. Expressed here as chance, circumstance, affects all strands of life. Whether you're a winner, loser, or just still ambitious, we need a plan or idea to take advantage of our situation. So we have a chance of cheating fate. Musically, the tune is another victim of the production, a tame example for Rush. Decent bass playing, but nothing else memorable. As the track fades away, in fact, I will go as far as to say it's my least favourite final track on any Rush album. Now I've got that off my chest, let's go to in conclusion. Roller Bones was a commercial and critical success for Rush, and by all accounts the band enjoyed making the album. It certified platinum in the USA and was the highest charting album in several countries since Moving Pictures was released in 1981. It had 6 relatively successful singles, has been remastered twice and released 3 times with back catalogues. Rush supported the album with an extended tour of North America, the UK and Europe. I saw them myself, Sheffield Arena, April 1991 or 2, I think. Nevertheless, for me, they are 5 pieces of brilliance, a decent instrumental, the first since Moving Pictures. Well, I was there on Moving Pictures. But 4 pieces of substandard songs. The most that would appear on for me on any Rush CD. Being Face Up, The Big Whale, Neurotica and You Bet Your Life. The contrast is massive between these and the others. Questions have got to be asked why the production works so badly on these 4 compared to the others, which are as good as anything the band's ever done. Quality control wasn't working on them 4 efforts for me. Star of the album's Neil, with lyrics on Dreamland, Bravado, Roller Bones, Heresy and Course of a Chance. Some of them are absolutely amazing. Although he gets a minus point for that lump of chorus on You Bet Your Life, where Geddy must get an honourable mention for trying to fit them all in. Presentation, You Sam has designed my favourite cover artwork. Love it. The youngster kicking the skull with a disc in dice in the background. Floating wishbones in the inside cover. And I was always curious about the elephant, but then I read that the Avery makes the dice from Elephants Makes the Dice. So that has a relevance to it as well. Great cover. Lyric of the album, there's so many contenders, but it's got to be When We Are Young, wondering the face of the earth, wondering what our dreams might be worth, learning that we're only immortal for a limited time. Lyrics that shall be with me forever. Unknown Fact, this is where we come back to Ghost of a Chance. Just check out Love Like a Man on YouTube about 10 years after and listen to the riff. God bless you, Alvin Lee. I'll say no more. Baggage. No baggage, but some further reading. The Trinity Paradox by Kevin Anderson of Clockwork Angels fame was in relation to Dreamland. John Bath's Tidewater Tales in relation to Bravado. A short story by Frank Lieber called Gonna Roll the Bones. And this, William Blake, which I'm really enjoying actually. It's Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience, which relates to the big wheel. But some nice poetry. Just shows you that a track I don't like leads you into some really good reading. Right, that's it. Another album done. Another one on the way. Spent 2 weeks doing it. Hope to see you again sometime. Stay safe. Look after yourself. See you again.